Holy shit, where the fuck have we been? Where the fuck have I been? I'll take the blame for
Yeah,
it.
I've been here.
Yeah, welcome back to the second draft where we actually invented the 2 week bye week.
That would
We
be
did that
actually
first.
great. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Based on how the Broncos came back from their bye, I'm not really cool with that.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
The Cardinals should have had a bye after week 1.
Yeah.
That lasted a little longer than 2 weeks. I think they have. I don't know
We've
if you've
basically
noticed,
been on
but
bye the whole, yeah.
This
whole
entire season's been
Yeah.
a fucking bye week for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that just yet. Let's
Yeah.
talk about something amazing and wonderful and uplifting and peace-bringing and soul-soothing. And of course I'm talking about beer.
Beer.
Alex, you want to kick us off with what you're drinking this week?
Yeah, I decided to just go for a staple, and I'm drinking Ballast Point's Sculpin.
Oh,
Fucking A.
Yeah,
delicious.
Yeah.
it's pretty rock solid. Both my picks this week are just staples. They're always in the fridge or very close to it, and
Nice.
you can't really go wrong.
Yeah,
Tasty,
Ballast
tasty
Point is fantastic.
Yeah,
San Diego
good beer.
represent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sculpin's got all of their beers are named after fish, or at least the ones that I've had. And this one in particular, they've done some spin-offs with. They'd have the grapefruit Sculpin is what most people are familiar with,
That's
but
really good.
this one,
The
just
habanero
standard old
Sculpin
Sculpin
is
is tasty.
Yeah, that one's really good. The habanero Sculpin is very good too. I think I actually may have reviewed that for the site. Maybe. I want to say it did. I'm behind.
Well,
on
if you
watching
haven't,
reviews.
homework assignment, right?
There you
Maybe
go.
I'll
Yes,
do.
I do
Maybe I'll
have
do
a
the
homework
regular, and
assignment.
then we can compare.
All right, what are we drinking so I can have some?
Yeah, what are you guys sipping
I
on
wanna
over
have
there?
Some too. We're drinking the Yotes Pale Ale from Santan Brewing in Chandler, Arizona, which is a collaboration of sorts with the Arizona Coyotes, the hockey team here, for as much longer as they are here.
Oh, that's good.
As of right now, they're about to go 0-8. So it's a hibiscus pale ale. What they did was they matched the coloring, used the hibiscus to actually match the color of their jerseys, which they refer to as Sedona Red. They actually started serving it on tap at the games, and as of just within like the last month or so, once the hockey season started, they started canning and distributing it everywhere. So I snatched up a 6-pack, and it's one of my favorites. It's great.
I like hibiscus.
Yeah, it's got
Kinda
a nice
tart.
It's kind of tart, a little hoppy, a little sweet,
Yeah.
but it's a good balance of all three of those things. It's
Yeah.
solid pale ale.
And it's got a pretty color.
Yeah, that's Sedona Red. So I think we've left these people waiting long enough. It's been 3 weeks now. Should we jump right into the motherfucking football games?
Yeah.
Let's talk football. Yeah.
Let's talk
Yeah.
football.
So should we just recap the surprises from last week?
Sure, yeah.
There was one absolutely fucking ridiculous game that ended with 3 free plays with no time on the clock. Should we talk about that? That was
Yeah.
some fucking wacky
Fucking
shit.
Raiders and the Chiefs and copycat league, because clearly the Raiders watched the Steelers beat the ever-loving shit out of the Chiefs, and they didn't do it as well as the Steelers did.
But they figured out
But
how to win.
They did it nonetheless.
I want to know who paid off the refs to keep giving the Raiders a chance to get in the end zone.
They
'Cause
should have
we
just let it
know-
go the first time.
Yeah.
That offensive pass interference call on Crabtree was bullshit.
Yeah, we know it wasn't Mark Davis who paid him off because that motherfucker's got no money. He eats at P.F. Chang's all the time. So who did it?
So he's
Was it a
black broke.
crowdsourcing?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like a
crowdsourcing.
Kickstarter. And then,
He was,
Marshawn Lynch comes off the bench like a fucking lunatic.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. That was kind of spelled disaster for me this week. I mean, in the league, I lost to the guy who put up the most points, but still, I could not win after he got benched. And now next week will be a little bit harder as well. So,
Yeah.
not to say he's been consistent, but it doesn't help,
No.
Yeah, and he appealed that suspension and
Mm-hmm.
declined.
They declined the appeal?
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
this is,
Yeah.
no.
You don't put your hands on a ref.
You touched a ref. You didn't just touch, you didn't even go like this. Or like,
grabbed him by the collar.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah, he
he like
shoved
fucking
him.
pushed him. Yeah, that's bad. Marshawn, that's bad. I know you're from Oakland and this was your dream, but can you not be that ghetto?
Well,
I mean,
bad.
I think it's a natural gut reaction, and I get that. But when you play for that much money and you're in the league, there's a certain code of conduct that you're expected to obtain or
Right.
uphold. Obtain.
Right.
Wow.
It was
Maybe
he's
for
been in
him
the league a
obtain, but
long
uphold.
time. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
It was a gut reaction.
He
I
came
mean,
off the bench.
right, but the dude who had the late hit on Carr was his cousin. So what he saw was a need to go in and defend his teammates and defend his quarterback who's coming off an injury, and also his cousin who's about to get his ass fucking beat. So I feel like you wanted to jump in, be the adult, and play the mediator, but you don't run into that situation. You don't move a ref to try and do the ref's
you get in
job.
between the players. You don't touch a ref. Like, there's no excuse. He should have gotten suspended. He's lucky it wasn't for more games.
Right.
I don't know. I think I can
still
see
love
them
the hell out
just
of
kicking him
Marshawn.
out of the game. For all Raiders fans, I'm sure that this is just, it looks a little bit more noble than anything else. He's coming in to protect his quarterback.
Sure.
Right, which is important.
But this isn't hockey.
You're right. Yeah,
This
he
isn't
doesn't need to
this
be an
isn't even
enforcer. He's a running back.
Yeah, I mean, there's the amount of unwritten rules in baseball don't apply here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Be a playmaker. Please be a playmaker.
And if
especially
somebody
later
had
in the
gotten injured,
season.
I might have been more sympathetic to Marshawn. But it's not even like somebody got hit in the face in baseball and then you retaliate against the pitcher when he's up for bat. That's not even the same situation. So,
No.
What was weird to me is at the end of that game, watching all the Raiders fans freak out like they just won the Super Bowl, and I'm thinking the entire time, like, any other team's gonna have a little bit more class with. Sure, you beat arguably the best team in the league or one of the best teams in the league right now. But you did it by technicality,
Over and over again, 3 technicalities, 4 technicalities. So
just walk off the field with class, like you've done this before, Like
I agree.
like you've been here before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
But it's Oakland.
Let's kick it off. Let's get right into this week's games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about injuries. We don't need to talk about injuries. We'll talk about all that shit as we come to each team. So
Yeah.
Let's roll.
And then bye-week stuff after.
Mm-hmm.
So first up, Thursday night game is Miami Dolphins in Baltimore playing the Ravens.
I'll go first. Dolphins. Ravens, you're a dumpster fire. I don't know what's going on. I can't figure you out at all. Dolphins are okay. They're okay. I would say they're a very average team in the league right now. Average is going to beat terrible, and Ravens are terrible. I'm going to go Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins too. The Dolphins defense is like, they're coming to win a fucking Super Bowl. They're playing, I mean, they're not going to, obviously, but that defense is playing, they're on the money. Cutler getting injured and then Matt Moore stepping in. He did a surprisingly good job considering. Not that the bar was set really high with Jay Cutler being quarterback. But he was great against the Jets in relief. This is a defensive game for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think Miami's defense is better than the Jets. So I'm going Dolphins.
Yeah, that was my biggest mispick last week, is that I thought the Jets were going to do better against the Dolphins. And, it was a close game, so I don't feel bad about that pick. But I won't. Yeah, I'm not going to mess that up again. The Ravens have been just a big question mark this season. So I'm going Dolphins also.
Cool. Yeah. Is that unanimous?
It is.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling that this week will be mostly unanimous.
Yeah.
So next up, first Sunday game.
Do we have any London games this week?
Yeah, 1.
6:30 a.m.
Yeah, so that's what this is.
Oh, this is this. Wow,
Yeah,
great time.
Vikings-Browns.
Minnesota Vikings are playing. They're at the away team in London against the 0-7 Cleveland Browns.
I went first last time, Paige.
I'll go.
We'll go in like a weird, I'm making this up, some sort of a counterclockwise
We make it up
motion.
as we go along
Yeah.
here. It's like a draft.
Widdershins is what they call that.
Widdershins. Okay, yeah.
The Browns are winless. I don't see it going any other way than them continuing to be winless. The Vikings defense is fucking nails.
Yeah.
They're really good. And their offense is managing just fine with second string quarterback.
Yeah.
So, Vikings.
Alex?
I also am going to pick Minnesota here. I don't think I need to give much of an explanation. I don't know if the Browns have a win on their schedule coming up anytime soon. So,
Yeah, no, that's more than fair. I'm going to go Vikings as well, although fucking London games. If the Browns ever had a shot in hell at getting a win this season, it would be in London.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be the Vikings.
Yeah. The Vikings would have to lose like half their starters.
Well,
Is-
In a
it's
plane
fucking
crash.
London. Wow. You're saying things that could possibly happen.
Knock on wood, you guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
is there a team that you
Look
guys
at that
see?
fucking wedding ring right there. This kid got married.
That's right.
Yeah.
2 of us.
It's the first time I've seen it since a wedding. That looks good on you, man.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Hey.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I gotta represent Kauai Beer Company. I went to the 2 breweries that exist on the island of Kauai during my honeymoon. I went to both.
That's awesome.
This one I think had the better beer, but then the other one was also, well, I didn't get to try all of them from the other brewery, but it was the westernmost brewery in the world, which I find entertaining because it's just
really
a big old sphere, but it's cool. Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys, though, in terms of this game, do you guys see moving forward with the Browns any game that kind of sticks out that they might be able to take home?
I am not entirely familiar with
let
their
me look at
schedule.
their schedule.
So
if we want to take a minute and talk amongst ourselves for just a second while Paige looks that up.
No, I can tell you. You got Lions coming up. You got Jaguars coming up. Bengals.
No.
Chargers.
No.
You can just give me a Packers.
No.
Bears, maybe.
Here's mine. I'm thinking. No, I don't think so. I think the Bears are getting better.
Damn, they're going to draft another fucking quarterback in the first round. That's what they're going to do. They're going to run another.
Yeah, they benched Kaiser, and now they're starting Kaiser again. And then I don't fucking know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, if anybody, the
offensive
Bengals are kind of a question mark too, but I don't think they could beat the Bengals. And then the Ravens might be the only one that they have. Yeah, maybe.
I think they go.
Maybe
I
the
think this
Ravens.
might be a perfectly
It might be
winless
perfect
season.
season.
I don't.
A unicorn.
Looking, Vikings, Lions, Jaguars, Bengals, Chargers, Packers, Ravens, Bears, Steelers. They're fucked.
They're fucked.
They don't.
They're
It does
just-
not
just
look
leave
good.
it.
That's
I'm
what
sorry,
saying.
Browns. I predicted better things for you, but you guys are just shit this year. Even shittier shit, I think, than they were last year.
Yeah, it's
If I end up
not
losing
good.
the picks this season, I give you guys full license to give me an 0-16 Browns jersey. Like Owen is the last name and the number 16. I would wear that next season begrudgingly, but I would make the most of that shit.
It would be pretty funny.
It'd be pretty great. What's the next game, Paige?
The next game. Another bad team. Excuse me. Colts are playing in Cincinnati against the Bengals.
They're in Cincinnati? Mm-hmm. I'll give it to
I'll
the
go.
Bengals.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll go Bengals. Colts are
Bengals.
terrible.
Chuck Pagano has lost that team for the 975th millionth time over the course of his career. Chuck Pagano, you need to just go. You need to just stop, sir. Please,
Just don't anymore.
Just no more.
retire.
No more. Indy deserves better. That team deserves better.
You beat cancer. Take it as a win.
Yeah, you beat
It's a
cancer.
W.
You're
It's a
not
big
going to
W.
beat the Bengals.
What, Alex?
I said it's a big W.
Yeah, it's like the biggest W of all W's.
Now cut
Next
your
to win the
losses
Super
and
Bowl,
all
which
of
you
your,
will never win again.
cut your
So
losses and all your future losses. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
just move on. Yeah, I'm also going Bengals. Shock. They couldn't score against Jacksonville at all. It was bad. And the Bengals lost last week. That was a battle of defenses. Top 3 defenses, Bengals, Steelers. But the Bengals looked pretty good aside from Vontaze Burfict, who's not going to get fined for kicking a player in the face with his cleat.
no
'Cause
sense.
I'm ashamed that he's a Sun Devil. I'm hereby declaring him not he did not go to ASU in my mind. It's over. You're rejected.
10% of his salary he's earned over the course of his career, he's paid out in fines.
$800,000, you guys.
Has anybody ever been banned from the league for being overly violent and horrible?
No.
So I think he might be the poster child for it.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's great at his job, but he takes it like 5 levels higher than necessary.
Well, it's not even like a competitive edge or just being like a
No, he's
dog
a
player.
dick.
He's an evil motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a dick. He sets out to injure people.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with that. Andy Dalton's going to hit AJ Green multiple times this week for big points. So all you Green fantasy holders out there, owners, you're going to be happy.
That's a good call.
Yeah, and I think Dalton's probably a pretty decent stream against.
He's good for
Colts
11,
this
12
week.
points.
No, I mean I think you're approaching like high teens with him this week against the Colts. So the Colts defense is just awful.
I'm going to say Andy Dalton throws
It's going to be a blowout.
at least 2 picks and fumbles once, but
Yeah, but okay.
he's gonna really
He's
low
still going to
ceiling.
probably throw 2, 3, maybe 4 touchdowns. Colts defense is terrible.
Nope, I don't see it. I see a run game.
And you can't fault the Bengals against Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville looks good. I think they're poised to take the AFC South. So
That defense is officially elite.
they are.
That's an
They just
elite
didn't
defense.
score at all. It was bad.
It's my favorite streaming pickup this year was Jacksonville's D. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
All right, so Bengals all across.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland Raiders are playing in Buffalo against the Bills.
this is a good
I'm
one.
gonna go last because I still haven't made up my mind on this one.
This could be a really good game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This might be my matchup of the week. I need to take a look at the rest of the games real
That's
quick.
a fair assessment. I think it's gonna be like the sleeper hit of this week. I don't think it's gonna be necessarily on a lot of people's radar. Well, we know of one guy who's gonna have it on his radar. What's that?
Yeah.
It's been a couple of
Hi,
weeks.
Bill.
What's that guy's
Guy.
name? We need to know
I
his
have
name.
no
I
idea.
can't remember.
We've
It's a-
referenced
Bill-
him in
forever
like
Bill's
4
guy.
of these
Bill, yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I haven't seen any comments, so I feel like maybe he's boycotting us, but we're still acknowledging you.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll go.
Okay.
I think the loss of Marshawn Lynch is going to hit the Raiders pretty hard.
I don't think so.
I'm going Bills.
Yeah.
It's a long trip for Oakland. They do have 10 days off, but it's a long trip. And LaShawn McCoy is just fucking money.
You know what? We tend to pregame. We tend to like drink a beer, catch up. We tend to talk and make notes. And I think Paige actually has me written down as the Raiders is my pick. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna
But you can change it.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it for a lot of the reasons you just listed, and also because I've been watching that Raiders defense, and it's just not what it should be.
It's
and
not.
if I was the Raiders defense, LaShawn McCoy would scare the shit out of me right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a weird, spooky, creepy, come from behind win and say the Bills are gonna beat the Raiders.
What about you, Alex?
I'm tempted to mix it up just to get some
Just-
points back here, but I'm agreeing with you guys, so I'm really split because of this. Yeah, I mean the Bills look really good. I think,
Yeah.
as far as AFC East goes, I did not expect them to be right below the Patriots. So
They're
yeah,
above 500.
they're doing
Yeah.
they're doing good. They're 4-2. They're sitting right below the Pats. They're right there with the surprisingly good Dolphins this year.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Defense wins games.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, I'm going
I don't
Bills.
think Oakland's. Yeah, okay. And I just don't think Oakland's defense is good enough to limit LaShawn
And
McCoy.
they shouldn't be this bad. It's weird. They're like a weird
On paper,
outlier
they're
this
better.
season. Yeah, I mean, Khalil Mack on his own is just amazing. Like, they should be so much better than they are. I don't fully comprehend what's going on with Oakland. But
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah. Either way, I still
right.
think it's going to be a great game to watch, so I'll be looking forward to
Agreed.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defensive battles are fun.
Should we just fucking make that our game of the week?
Game of the
Should
week?
we just say it? Fuck
Yeah.
it. Bills Raiders
Bills.
is the game of the week.
Words I would have never expected to come out of my mouth.
2017. It's the new world order.
It's a weird year. It's bizarro world. It's like, have you read the comic or graphic novel where Superman is, he's a communist, like instead of landing in the United States, Red Sun.
Yeah.
If you guys are into comics, it's a great comic book. I have a signed copy.
Did Superman sign it?
That's crazy.
Yes,
Did he sign it in Russian just to fuck with you?
totally. Wow. But seriously, great. But
It's his clock.
It's bizarro world. It's a weird year.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Game of the week.
Yeah, game of the week. I think the only other
Raiders,
contender
Bills.
might be like Cowboys Redskins. That one.
Yeah, that could be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So next up, Panthers are playing in Tampa Bay against the Bucks.
Alex, you go first.
Panthers. Yeah.
Really?
Panthers.
This is where you're going to pick up your extra point this week. Is
Yeah.
I'm going Bucks. I'll let you finish with your analyses if you have it, but yeah.
No, go ahead. No, I'm just gonna go with the Panthers. I don't really like what they've been doing. Like they lost to the Bears, but I still think they have some fire left in them. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be the Bucks. I like the Bucks this season. I think that Muscle Hamster coming back has kind of lit a fire in that offense. Jameis Winston, is he still questionable, or he played this past
No,
weekend?
he's playing.
Yeah, he played.
Yeah, he's in.
He's doing okay. The Panthers have just not been what I thought they were going to be this year. Like, all the things I said they needed to do to get better, like having like Cam Newton come off his shoulder injury and actually start playing better. That running game is doing really well. They need to figure out who's going to be the feature back though between Jay Stu and McCaffrey, because that whole committee thing. Jonathan Stewart needs to be your feature back. You need to have Christian McCaffrey as your change of pace back. It's just not working. Having him, it's just not working.
Yeah.
Figure that shit out. Yeah, the wide receiver situation's okay. I just see the Bucs as being the more well-rounded team. They just need to realize it. Mm-hmm. But I think they got it in them to take this divisional win.
Yeah.
It was horrible analyses. I'm sorry.
No, it works.
But
yeah.
It was better than mine. Panthers.
It's like my Dolphins pick in like week 3. It was like, I don't know. I can't remember why I'm picking the Dolphins, but I'm picking the Dolphins, and I won.
You did.
I did, yeah. You guys were like, that's crazy, Paige. I was like, I know. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it.
You felt it. You just felt it, right?
I did. I went with my gut. Every time I go against my gut, too, I lose. So I'm just gonna go with the gut. Both these teams don't look really good this year. Everyone expected Cam to play like his old school self, and he's not. They're mediocre. Mm-hmm. They got beat by the fucking Bears.
Yeah, exactly. That's my
and not
whole...
just beat. Like, they got beat.
Yeah.
And I think that the Bucs are good enough to beat the Panthers, and then throw in Doug Martin, and I'm going Bucs. I think Doug Martin is money.
I think he is too.
Yeah. And so I'm going Bucs.
Cool.
So that's where we disagree this week so far.
Okay.
Next up, Chicago Bears are playing in New Orleans against the Saints. I'm going Saints. Just because the Bears have won 2 straight. They have no passing game. And even though the Saints defense is not great, it's getting better. It's improving. And Drew Brees always gets his fucking points. Always gets his points.
Yes, he does.
You can guess which of us has Drew Brees as their fantasy quarterback this season.
Yeah.
It's that guy right there.
That guy right there. So, and I think some people underestimated the Saints against Green Bay last week. I was not one of them. I think we all went Saints last week. So,
yeah, with good cause.
That offense they do what they need to do to win. So I'm going Saints.
Yeah. I'll go next. I was in New Orleans, which is one of the reasons why we haven't been around for the past 2 weeks. And again, I apologize. But I was in New Orleans for the game between the Saints and the Lions, and it was electric to see just everything click with that team against Detroit. The defense is playing out of their fucking minds. Like, I almost want to say that Matt Stafford had more deflected passes than completed passes that game, or something ridiculous like that. The defense just came alive, and I talked to Saints fans after the fact, and they were really just kind of prideful about the fact that the Saints defense is being viewed as like a force now after that game, and for good reason. I've never seen their cornerbacks more aggressive and really just going after it. Their safety Vaccaro is playing like one of the best safeties in the league right now. I think that defense is clicking. Something's really working with that defense. That's the main reason I'm going with the Saints, is because I think they're going to just take apart Trubisky and the Bears, that offense. But the Saints offense, you can never count them out because it's Drew fucking Brees. And you've got Mark Ingram, who's just playing out of his fucking mind. Drew Brees, it doesn't matter who he's throwing to. Eventually, he's going to make something work. They're just a better team than the Saints, and I think, or than the Bears. And I think that game against Detroit was a turning point for New Orleans this season. I think they're going to keep winning games. I think it's easy to count out the Packers because they had a backup quarterback. I think the Saints were just that good 2 games in a row. And they're going to win 3 in a row now. And we'll see what goes on the rest of the season. But I think this is a turning point.
They're contenders.
This is an exciting time to be a Saints fan. So, yeah.
Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also going Saints. I've been hyped on the Saints since week 1.
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of had to be because of Drew.
Fan. Yeah.
I had no idea what you just said. I'll just keep going with my rambling.
Sorry.
Yeah,
What
no,
I said was that. Sorry. Fuck, I just did it again.
Just
the Bears
ignore
the Bears
DT. Go
may
on.
have the Bears may have won, a couple games in a row, but the Saints just they've how many in a row are they at now?
The Saints are on a 4-win streak.
That's right. They beat the Panthers and the Dolphins.
The Panthers, the Dolphins, the Lions, the
Yeah,
Packers. Man. Yeah, they're on. So yeah, they're
Saints
gonna hit
are
win number
legit.
5.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it was they had a bye week. That's why we're getting thrown off.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had. They look really good. Is really all I'm saying. I think their O line is better than people give them credit for, and Breeze has enough time back there to kind of pick out whoever he wants. That's why you see weapons kind of developing in their receiver core, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Like he made a receiver out of Ted Ginn Jr., who hasn't really seen much since his Ohio State days. So
he can play.
Yeah.
And he can sit in the pocket and scramble a little bit if he needs to. And that guy is masterful. And he understands what's happening in front of him. He doesn't go with his first read. He doesn't get scared right away. Yeah. He stays and takes hits. He's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember who was commentating last week, but it was really funny to listen to them talk about how all of the receivers that have come out of New Orleans and how they've cycled so much over the last few years, and they could just name off one after the other for probably a solid 5 minutes. They just went back and forth naming receivers that had developed in New Orleans under Drew Brees, and it was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Bears are looking better, but I don't like them against the Saints.
Agreed. Halftime?
We're gonna call
Sure.
halftime. Yeah. Folks, we'll be back in just a minute. I swear to God, we're not going to disappear for another 2 weeks. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Back.
And that was halftime.
Welcome back. Hope you got another beer.
We did.
We
a
did.
little more of the Yotes Pale Ale.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mix it up this week. We're going to keep it, just going to keep it going. Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right, so next up,
let's get right into it.
yeah, the 49ers, who are winless.
God, still winless?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. They got destroyed by the Cowboys, but prior to that, they'd only lost their previous 5 games by like 3 points or less.
So if you're, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here.
They're playing the Eagles.
Just a short one here.
Yeah.
If you were the Niners coach, who was a young coach,
Yeah,
and
Shanahan.
it's your first year. I mean, you're Kyle Shanahan. You come from a legacy of good coaches. You're a winless team, and you're Sarkisian, who is like just had a whole fucking terrible thing going on in college, comes back to the NFL and becomes the offensive coordinator, and your team is winless at this point. Are you fucking scared, or are you like, give us another couple of years, please, and we'll see what happens?
I think they're in a rebuild, and so I feel like
A lengthy one.
Horrific fucking rebuild.
yeah, it's gonna be a long one. But
Yeah.
I think I think there's some hope, even though the Cowboys destroyed them. Their prior 5 games, they only lost by 3 points or less. So that's encouraging. It's an improvement over last year.
Okay.
You've got a whole different front office. The Falcons are clearly missing Shanahan. Shanahan brings a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy watches an insane amount of film. He says he watches entire games like 12 times.
Yeah.
With different position groups, the whole team, the amount of film that he watches is insane, probably more than any other head coach. So I think if you're a Niners fan, you give him the time.
Okay, that's fair.
And I think CJ, their quarterback, I think he's a developmental guy. I think there's a lot of talent there. He just needs time. And the Niners don't have anything but time because they're not going anywhere this year. So you may as well just buckle in and see the development. There's been some improvement. I think you just stick with it.
Okay, so if you are a Niners fan, you're optimistic about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not optimistic about this season or next season, but
Sure.
I feel like I think it's heading in a much better direction now than it was under like Chip Kelly.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah, Chip Kelly's awful.
I don't even know that it was Chip Kelly as much as that front office.
Yeah, it could be.
But Shanahan's a great coach.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to go too far off into that tangent, but
Yeah.
thank you for indulging me. So, based on that, who are you picking this week?
I'm going Eagles. It's another long trip for the Niners. They're the Niners.
But we're hopeful about it.
The Eagles are going to kick their ass.
Yeah, Eagles. I'm going to go Eagles, too. There's not a whole lot of explanation
Eagles.
required.
It's going to be ugly.
Yeah. Alex, you're saying Eagles as well? All right, so, I mean...
But if you're a Niners fan watching...
Carson Wentz is having an incredible year.
Can two teams that have birds as their mascot switch Carsons? I'd like to do that.
It's just mean to do to Philadelphia.
I know.
It's just mean. Please take our broken quarterback, who's definitely going to retire as soon as he gets the opportunity to make the announcement once the season's over. And we'll take your young, awesome, amazingly developing quarterback, please.
Carson Wentz he's a force of nature.
He's good.
Yeah. I wish he were mine. Oh,
anyway.
Wow. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
The Atlanta Falcons are playing the Jets in New York.
Is it horribly out of line to say that a game involving the Atlanta Falcons might be the dumpster fire of the week?
No, I mean, their season is rough.
Is that... Listen, I won't call it that. It's too harsh to say that at this point, but holy fuck, like... Quinn, figure out what the fuck's going on with your team, dude.
The Falcons are 3-3.
This shit's not healthy for as dynamic as that offense and the defense is. This is just not right. Something's not. Maybe Shanahan was that missing component, much like I think Dan Quinn was for the defense for the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know, but you gotta hold some fucking meetings and figure out what's going on, Quinn. Like, this shouldn't be happening. Their team is way too fucking good for what's been happening. Mm-hmm. Way too fucking good. Foxborough, what happened on Sunday night, you can blame on the fog, you can blame on the Super Bowl weird dynamics, whatever. That's like the one gimme. Everything else, you should be fucking winning every game.
They're 3-3.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm almost tempted to give it to the Jets just as like a weird outlier upset. I'm gonna give it to the Falcons anyway, just because it's the Falcons, and I think if they're gonna pull their heads out of their asses and turn things around, this might be as good a week as any to do it. But holy fuck, dude! Like Dan Quinn. Like,
come on, DQ.
Yeah, smack some heads and like punch some walls and get some shit going. Like,
it's bad.
It's not right in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, I'm going Falcons just because I don't like the Jets that much. Like, I feel like they're kind of
really
overrated. They're not having a great season. I think on paper the Falcons are better.
Yeah.
Whether they can play like it or not is what we'll find out this week. But I'm going Falcons.
I mean, the Jets are sitting at the bottom of the AFC East, but they are below the 3 losses that the Falcons have. And, those are all good teams that we've talked about already in this episode. Mm-hmm. The Pats, the Bills, the Dolphins. We don't really need to talk about the Pats, but the Bills and the Dolphins we've already discussed, I think the Jets are getting better. That was my mispick last week, and I still don't really feel that bad about it. I think Cowan's developing. I think Curses was like a no name, and now he's all of a sudden gaining some steam.
Super talented.
I'm still gonna pick the Falcons though.
Yeah, you have to by default in this situation. You have to.
It's one of those picks where you're like, oh, I don't really feel good about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Much like this next game.
Yeah.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be a close one.
I mean, this is like there is no. I am comfortably saying my pick in this. The Chargers are playing at Gillette against the Patriots.
2 home games in a row for the Patriots is just not fair. It's just not fair.
They should have to play all their games on the road.
They should have to alternate every single
handicap.
Game.
Yeah.
It's like the Packers playing like 3 or 4 games in a row at
Lambeau.
Which has happened, and it's bullshit.
It's hard for everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm going Pats. I'm going Pats.
Yeah, Patriots. I'm gonna go Pats too. I don't think that the Chargers' win against the Broncos last week was a win for the Chargers. I think it was an incredibly horrible, crushing defeat for the Broncos, and I think they did it to themselves. That's another team, like Elway and Vance Joseph, like you need to start busting skulls and figure out what the fuck is going on with your team, because you just got shut out for the first time in 25 years against Phillip fucking Rivers. granted, that defense is finally coming alive. That Chargers defense.
Yeah.
Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa are finally doing what I was
Bosa's
saying
insane.
they should have been doing this entire fucking season. But holy shit, like even Phillip Rivers had his way with that fucking Broncos defense, and that just shouldn't have happened at all. Broncos, you make no sense. You need to start making sense.
They're very 2017.
But again, that win doesn't instill any faith with me for the Chargers. So it's gonna
and
be
the Chargers, the Chargers aren't the Chiefs in Week 1. No.
It's. I'm hoping, as a Broncos fan, that those two losses were just really weird, fluky losses, and something's going to happen, and they're going to right the ship, and things are going to get fixed. But that win against the Broncos was not. It doesn't instill any. Like I said, it doesn't instill in me any confidence in the Chargers. So it's going to be the fucking Patriots. It's just going to be the Patriots. So, and Tom Brady's going to throw for 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I guess I can talk about the Broncos now, since I don't really want to talk about them later. But
may as well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Giants found a gap in Broncos defense, and Chargers exploited that. And I don't think teams really had trouble kind of shutting down the offense when they need to. So I wasn't okay. I was surprised by our first shutout in quarter century, but I obviously was not pleased about it. The Pats are still going to win though. I don't think the Chargers have the steam. I'm disappointed to see us go down to the Chargers, who have arguably been more of a rival than the Raiders for, the last decade or so. But, now the Raiders are back up there, but I still am disappointed to see us lose so badly to the Chargers. I think you're right, the defense is back on fire, but I don't think they're going to be enough to match the Patriots, who just can interchange whoever they want on the team and still put up massive points.
And that Patriots defense, we were talking in pregame. Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, that guy is money.
He's
there's been
good.
some rumors that Bruce Arians is retiring or not going to be with the Cardinals at the end of the season, and so my dream pick. You have a aging offense and a pretty young defense with some great components as a Cardinals team. I feel like you go defense, you build a team around the defense. And my dream head coach right now, with guys that you could realistically get as a head coach, would be Matt Patricia. That guy is doing a beautiful job with the Patriots defense this year. Each game they're getting better. And they've had some losses on that side of the ball, so he's managing to find a way to make it work.
Yeah, I agree with Patricia as being a dynamite head coach, but
he's
going to have to find a really good quarterback and offensive coordinator to balance him out.
Yeah,
but I mean,
at least a workable quarterback.
Yeah, you look at what he's done with. I mean, could you name anybody off the top of your head right now on the Patriots defense?
No, not since what's his face is injured.
Yeah, or even Butler, who's no longer.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even with the team anymore since they won a Super Bowl. But no, I mean, if you took Matt Patricia and you lined him up, you set him up with players like fucking Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, and you got some developmental guys. I mean, you have Budda Baker and Robert Condice. I mean, there's some serious talent on the Cardinals.
Yeah, and you saw what he did with Chandler Jones before Chandler Jones came to Arizona. Yeah, he'd have to find a dynamite offensive coordinator and a really good quarterback coach, because they're going to need a new quarterback. But if I was Michael Bidwell, the owner,
Byron Leftwich, get the fuck out of my city.
Yeah, if I was Michael Bidwell and I was looking at head coaches next year, and he very well should be.
Yeah,
I'd be like, hey, Matt Patricia,
yeah, you want to take a step up?
How much money do we have to give you, and how much do we have to give you?
Yeah.
But yeah.
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 All right, we're all going Patriots.
Yeah, let's move on.
I love you, Matt Patricia, and your awesome beard. It's so beautiful.
I am envious of the Matt Patricia beard.
Yeah, it's so gorgeous. I love it.
And I wish I looked that good in a backwards cap too. I just don't.
The dude's got a rugged, flannel wearing, sexy thing going on. It's awesome. Beards are great though. A lot of chicks don't dig beards. I love beards. Beards are awesome. Date chicks who like beards.
Just don't date chicks with beards.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yes, that's the title of this week's podcast.
Yes,
don't date chicks with beards.
I knew it was going to come up eventually. It had to be better than what was it? Your drug dealing Care Bear stare.
Yeah, everybody. We always have this conversation where we kind of warm up in our what we call our pregame, and I don't remember how the conversation.
Yeah,
got
if
into
you
it,
could have a
but
condiment come out of your belly button, what would it be?
I said ketchup. Paige said mustard, and then mayonnaise, which is really fucking weird.
I don't know.
And then I don't remember what
I
happened.
like both of
but
those things.
You mentioned
I
Crystal
ended
from NOLA.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I just went to New Orleans, and
Crystal
everybody in New
hot
Orleans is
sauce.
all
If you
about.
haven't had it, you should have it.
Yeah,
It's
they're all
delicious.
about Tabasco.
Way
and
better
Crystal.
than Tabasco.
Yeah, and Alex said crystal meth, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, if I could shoot meth out of my stomach, I'd be like a drug dealing Care Bear. And that's how
Care Bear stare.
drug dealing Care Bear might actually be the new title of the podcast.
I'm glad we re-explained that joke just for this.
Please leave us your comments down below too on what condiment you would have coming out of your belly button.
Or
'Cause
what?
I want to know.
Or what illicit?
Or
illegal
what illicit substance
you would have shooting out of your stomach.
Yeah. Why not? Let's go there.
You know what?
It's like Dr. Strangelove. It'll
beer.
be.
I mean, if beer
it'll
coming
be
out of our
drug
belly
dealing
button, that'd
Care
be
Bear
great.
stare or.
Whoever draws their weird Care Bear drug with a drug power or whatever, and they post in the comments, we will feature those Care Bear drawings in next week's podcast.
Yeah, we might even come up with like even a special surprise.
Feature heavily.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So after that fun tangent,
Who do we have next?
the Houston Texans are playing in Seattle against the Seahawks.
Who wants to go first with this one? I'll go first. I'm going to take the fucking Texans.
Ooh.
I'm going to take the Texans. Deshaun Watson, you are a fucking machine.
Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller's been fucking great.
Yeah.
Will Fuller has been dynamite as a wide receiver. As good as the Legion of Boom is, they're not as good as they have been in recent years, and I think this is going to be a real test for them. The Texans' defense is still really solid, despite the fact that they're missing J.J. Watt. No, I'm going to go Texans as maybe... We'll call it an upset. Why not? It's going to be the Texans. This is going to be my vibe for points this week. And I think I'm going to be okay.
What about you, Alex?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm
I
torn
know,
with
it's a
this
rough
one.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks beat the Rams, so that's good in their favor. I don't know.
You
Gotta go with
pick
my gut,
Should we
right?
table it, come back? I'm sorry, it's too late for that.
No, I have to play. I'm going to root for the Texans this week regardless because they're going to be my defense. Jacksonville's on the bye, so. Yeah, I'm so torn.
Go Texans.
Yeah, I'm going to go Houston. I'll go Houston. Let's go Houston. I'll agree with you.
Actually, you should go Seattle because I'm going to win this week. You should go Seattle. No, dude, Seattle sounds really good. You should go Seattle.
yeah?
They're a really good team.
No, it's not it's a good pick. It's a yeah. I don't know. Seahawks don't have many like crazy wins other than the Rams, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Houston.
I like Houston.
I'm going Seahawks.
That is the other team playing this game.
Yes. One of two options. I think playing against the Seahawks in Seattle is...
It's not as scary as it was a few years ago.
I still think
really not.
that crowd gets insane.
They do. I've been there. It's nuts, but
Deshaun is great.
yeah.
But I think even for veteran players, playing against Seattle is tough. And Seattle each week has been building their momentum. They look better. And so I'm going Seattle.
Okay.
As much as I don't like Seattle.
All right. Moving on.
Up. All right. Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Redskins. I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going Cowboys. Redskins playing on a short week.
That's a big factor.
The Cowboys are playing consecutive road games, but they beat the shit out of the 49ers.
The Niners. Yeah.
And they have Zeke Elliott.
You, me, and Alex could beat
Going
the shit out of
Dallas.
the 49ers at this point, let's be honest.
It's true. Yeah,
You could be the running back.
for sure.
Alex
I can
could,
get schemed.
Alex could block, and I'll just hand off to you.
I'll hit the truck stick. We'll be good.
Why have I become the O lineman all of a sudden? Can we not all
Yeah,
be
but he's
skill
skinny.
players?
Okay, I'm probably the most heavy set,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be the lineman. You could be the quarterback because you can see over me. We'll just
Yeah.
hand off to Paige.
Yeah.
I think
That
we should
works.
all just be skill players. That's really where we
There you go.
belong.
Yeah. No, fuck the O-line. We're just going to go right around their O-line every single time, which is honestly not that, not that big of a stretch, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Page will quarterback. You can run the ball. I'll be the pulling guard. I think we can work with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just run nothing but draw plays, right, Alex?
I hate the draw.
I know you fucking hate the draw play. I hate the draw
Triple
play.
option.
Too. It makes no sense. It's a stupid fucking play.
It was so funny to watch because the Raiders ran a draw this last week, and it was so funny to listen to commentators go like, "Oh, that was a really smart play. What a great 8-yard gain!" And then the next
worked.
play, I think they tried to run another draw and just got stuffed. And I was like, "Yep." Yeah, I mean, it was the one because shortly after that, I think it was immediately the next play. Derek Carr tried like a weird QB sneak when he was injured.
Yeah.
Like terrible play calling. I think honestly, it wasn't really the sideline. I think he kind of took that one in his own hands. Played a little bit of an audible there because he was an empty, and didn't really know what he was doing. Like when you just busted your backup, you don't do that. As for the draw play, I can get behind a lot of weird third down plays. The screen, I understand to some extent.
Yeah.
Shovel pass, I can get that.
Yeah.
The draw
I like
makes
shovel
no
pass.
sense.
Yeah,
It just doesn't work. Cool, let's move on. Let's not talk about the draw.
We haven't even
Stupid
made-
ass
All right, so
play.
I'm going Cowboys. I
Okay.
said I was going Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going Cowboys. Because
Yeah.
they got Zeke. They're a better team with Zeke than the Redskins.
Yeah, and the Redskins' offensive line is trash. So
Yeah, I agree.
Cowboys.
It's
I
unanimous,
did
yeah.
mention before though that this was arguably another one to kind of keep an eye on.
Sure. Yeah.
I also agree though it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's a divisional matchup between two fairly prolific offenses. It's going to be a fun one, but yeah.
and the Redskins' defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Philadelphia kind of ran over them in the last half yesterday, but
We expected
it'll
that though.
yeah, I think it'll be a fun game to watch. But I don't see the Skins pulling it out.
No.
All right. Next up, Steelers are playing in Detroit against the Lions.
Lions have got a lot of problems. Steelers are finally hitting their stride. Steelers. Straight up.
Steelers. Yeah.
I don't feel like this game really needs much analysis. Sorry, Detroit.
No. Yeah, the triple Bs. I mean, Ben,
Yeah.
Bell, and Brown.
Brown,
That's,
yeah.
Yeah. And Le'Veon's taken off. And those group celebrations are fucking amazing, by the way. I am
Yeah.
loving the shit out of those. Also, Juju Smith-Schuster. Dude is a baller.
That
USC is desperately missing him in college football.
Yeah.
But the Steelers are... Since the Cardinals have clearly, like, just... The season's gone to
Shit
shit.
the bed.
It's over. I will still be watching all the Cardinals games because I am a Cardinals fan, but I'm married to a Steeler. I love watching the Steelers play. They play with such energy. They're so fun to watch.
Yeah,
so I'm pulling for the Steelers this year.
I hate the Steelers at a fundamental level because I'm a Cardinals fan and they stole our one and only Super Bowl from us. But goddamn, they're a fucking dynamic,
really good.
fun team to watch.
Yeah.
And holy shit, if Juju and Bell did not have the best touchdown celebration I have ever
The best.
fucking seen
They're
in
the
the
best.
NFL.
Yeah, they're the best.
For anybody who missed it, I would love to put a clip up, but I'm sure the NFL would hunt us down and murder us, even though only
We
like
could do it,
50
Kev.
people were watching it. But Juju got a touchdown. And he puts the ball down and he acts like he's counting. And Bell
go
runs
Zeke.
behind the fucking goalpost and hides. And Juju runs around and finds him and then chases him down and tags him.
best.
It was fucking hysterical.
And whoever the asshole is who stole Juju Smith-Schuster's bicycle, because he like rides around Pittsburgh on a bike, and he's got a rad
Well,
bike.
that's his first mistake.
And
But
they
somebody,
got it
like,
stolen.
Yeah, it was stolen. I'm like, you're fucking. So like on Twitter, if you haven't seen it on Twitter and you're on Twitter, and you should be because you should be following all of us and the second draft, it's hilarious. Yeah, now there's like rewards for finding Juju Smith-Schuster's bike in Pittsburgh. So it's fun, but the Steelers are fun. The Steelers are going to win this one.
The funny thing is, whoever tries to collect that reward is fucking guilty.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get that bike back, Juju. So that's going to be a talking point for somebody at parties. Like, yeah, I stole Juju's bike. And then you're not gonna get that bike back, dude. Just buy it.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. The third alternative title for this podcast: Juju's missing bike.
Which Pee-wee movie was it where he lost his bike and he went on a quest to try and find his missing bike? Like, I feel like there should be like a remake with Juju trying to find his bike in downtown Pittsburgh.
That could be gold.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
If I could animate and Newgrounds was still around, I'd do that shit in a heartbeat.
You're welcome, Hollywood. Have that one for free.
Yeah.
We expect royalties on the rest.
Yeah.
So last game, Monday night game, Denver Broncos are playing in Kansas City against
I am not ready for another prime time. Hold on, take it easy there. Are you choking? Or are the Broncos choking? Or are you?
No, the Broncos already choked.
Twice.
Twice.
I am not ready for another Denver primetime game.
Doesn't matter whether you're ready or not. It's happening.
They're not ready.
They're not ready for sure.
It's going to be the fucking Chiefs. And I am not going to play that defense in my fantasy team this week. The Broncos defense.
It's one of those situations where if the 10% possibility of the Broncos winning this actually turns out to be the outcome, it will be instrumental in pushing them forward the rest of the season. I don't see that happening. I think the Chiefs are going to win.
I think so too. Yeah.
I kind of struggled with this. Both teams are coming off of 2 consecutive losses.
But the Chiefs' losses are legitimate losses. The Broncos' losses are incredibly heartbreaking and demoralizing.
Right, but in some ways that's worse for the Chiefs because the Chiefs have had a massive defensive issue exploited 2 games in a row.
Oh, so have the Broncos, honestly.
But the Broncos' issues on offense. They could not put up points last week. Something's gonna give in this game. Only one. Well, it could be a tie. It's possible. I'm not predicting a tie.
No.
But the Chiefs' defense it's pretty good. So I'm going Chiefs this week.
Alex.
Yeah. Oh, I said Chiefs. Yeah. It sucks.
Well,
but
you coughed, Chiefs.
We got what? Eagles. We've got Eagles, Patriots, Dolphins, Raiders. The Colts are in there. The Colts are going to be probably and the Colts and the Raiders, I think, are our biggest opportunities for wins for the next conceivable 6 games ish. So it's kind of unfortunate to say that, but my perception of that will potentially change depending on how they do against the Chiefs. Even if they don't pull out a win, if they show up, then that could change. But right now, after watching them be taken down so resolutely by both the Giants and the Chargers, it's bleak at the moment. We have a kind of a history of doing this, of getting down to Monday night and being like, oh, this is either going to be a terrible game or it's going to be so disappointing.
Well, in our defense, the Thursday night games have been incredible. The Monday night games have been awful. Been kind of shitty.
The NFL should work on programming. I think that might be a thing they should consider, taking some time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the Broncos defense can exploit the Chiefs clear offensive gaps, because they do have some.
Talking pie in the sky right
now.
If Trevor Siemian could somehow become a good quarterback again and throw 3 touchdowns.
But I expected more from the run game in Denver.
Yeah, I did too.
So much more against the Chargers. I predicted that CJ would have a great game, and everything was set up correctly.
It should have been.
They should have. Yeah. The Chargers don't have a great run defense. I was shocked.
Emmanuel Sanders is out. You can take that into consideration. He's questionable this week, though. We're not sure if he's going to come back. But I don't know that that's going to make so much of a difference. You can't put it all on that. It doesn't lean,
No, it doesn't. And so we can wrap up by just going over the teams that are on bye this week.
Sure.
Cardinals.
Thank God. So now Drew Stanton has an entire fucking week to learn the offense.
Yeah,
great.
Drew Stanton. It was said yesterday that Drew hasn't been practicing for an entire month, so what the fuck?
We could do a whole separate
Bruce
podcast
Arians
on
also
that
said that
shit.
he wasn't going to pick up a quarterback, but then they signed Mike Bercovici, former ASU quarterback, to the practice squad.
For the second time.
So, I would have gone Kaepernick, like proven NFL quarterback, went to a fucking Super Bowl. But we're not going to go. Whatever, moving on.
Political minefield.
Whatever. I don't care about politics. I just want to win some fucking games.
I'm with you. I think it would also be fucking hysterical to have Colin Kaepernick and Blaine Gabbert on the same roster again. It's really a weird situation in a locker room where they lock eyes and they're like, yeah.
Blaine Gabbert's terrible.
He's better than Stan. I would.
Stan's horrible.
Is this really funny to watch you guys talk about this? I don't think Gabbert's as bad as Paige is saying, but I really don't think Stanton is as bad as DT is saying. They're both bad.
Really fucking bad. He's bad. Their ideal backup quarterback is somebody who's got a potential future in the league, who's got the potential to step up and do something good if he's called upon. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers played behind Brett Favre for a number of years.
Colin Kaepernick.
There
you go.
I know he is the guy that's been sitting on the. He's been riding the pine pony, but I don't think he's. I think he's getting a lot of love right now that he wouldn't otherwise get if he was still playing in the league. Like, he could be sitting in a second-tier team, riding the bench behind somebody else, and people would be saying, yeah, he'd be a good backup quarterback.
I think he's a great backup. Truly. He's better than any of the options Arizona has right now.
Sure.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that.
By a long stretch.
There are probably 3 or 4 teams where he would make an excellent addition to their starting roster. But I don't know. I think he's still, because of all of this fiasco and the attention that he's getting, and because of the dire need for some of these teams like the Cardinals, he's getting a lot of positive attention that he wouldn't otherwise get if he was still in the league somewhere. I was an advocate for Kaepernick. I think he's really a mobile quarterback. I think he's got decent awareness.
I think he understands the game pretty well.
Right. We started this kind of tangent on bye week teams this week. Jacksonville's also on a bye.
Correct.
Thank God for offenses, right? Jesus fucking Christ, Jacksonville.
It's funny too, because I was thinking about it. This was, I'm really tuned into Fournette right now because he's just carrying my fantasy team.
I have him on my.
This was the perfect time for him to get injured. Not for me personally, but for the team. They go and they play the Colts, and then they have a bye week. Perfect time for you to roll your ankle, get a little bit of trouble. If you're gonna have, there's never a good time, but if there was, it would be now. When you go play the Colts, when Chris Ivory can pick up the slack, and then you have time to heal up a little bit and get back into it. I think Jacksonville looks really good for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and DT and I were talking about this earlier. It's weird. Their record combined with the fact that they're over 500 and they're still not leading their conference or their division. The Giants are on a bye. The Giants are not good.
Thank God for Eli, dude. He needs a fucking bye. He needs to go back to Archie's house and have his mom cook him some food and pour him cereal in the morning and jump into his childhood bed and just sleep until 11 o'clock in the morning and get up and Netflix some cartoons and just reset. He is not having a good year.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. The Titans are on a bye. That offense.
They come back though. They come back and they play the Ravens and the Bengals. So
I'll beat the Ravens, but it's not going to be amazing.
Some teams that really need buys this week are on a bye.
Well, there's one team that's not going to benefit from that bye because they're fucking done. So, closing thoughts for this week before we wrap this motherfucker up.
Jesus, I don't have to watch the Cardinals.
That's a good closing thought. Alex?
Keep an eye out for some of next week's big time games. I think the Bears Saints is going to be better than we kind of pitched it this week.
I think it's going to be a good game.
I think the Saints are going to kick their asses.
I really do hope so. Texans Seahawks is going to be another good one to watch. But I don't know. Let's pray that the Broncos do better than they have recently.
Dear sweet baby Jesus.
Dear sweet baby Jesus, please help him. But yeah, Panthers Buccaneers. Was that our game of the week? Is that what we picked? No, we picked Raiders Bills. Watch Raiders Bills. It's going to be the big game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
my closing thoughts, those of you who have stuck around despite the fact we've been gone for 2 weeks, hopefully you went to theseconddraft.com and you read the articles because we did put a lot of time into them. It's entirely my fault. I was in New Orleans for 8 days and then I came back with the flu. So it's my fault that we missed 2 videos in a row. But yeah. So there are plans to make it up to everybody who stuck around the past couple of weeks. Again, I was in New Orleans. You're going to get a full write-up of my visit to the Superdome, which is extensive. I also had an opportunity to have an absolutely legendary IPA while I was in New Orleans that's only available in that region, and it is a top-ranked IPA in the country. I got to taste it. I got to have a whole fucking pint of it.
And I'm working on a write-up of some of the crazy shit that happened in Canton. It's a while ago.
She was at the Hall of Fame.
But I was at the Hall of Fame
ceremony.
And I also had a bet with some weirdo that I am friends with about whether Ray Lewis would make it in before Terrell Owens. And there's some bets on that. So I'm going to be writing about that.
T.O. needs to be in there.
T.O. needs to be in.
We love you guys, and we will absolutely, seriously, for real, not fucking joking, see you next week.
We will. See ya.
Cheers.
Fuck Ray Lewis.
That's the 4th alternative title for this podcast is Fuck Ray Lewis.
I feel like that's the best option.
I feel like drug dealing Care Bear is better.